Hello, 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 my little petals. How are you all doing today? I hope the answer is good. Because I love it when you all are doing good. We are resuming our game of tyranny, where we just broke our second Edict of Kairos. And now we're gonna go speak to Tunon. Actually, next we're gonna go do the tower. Do you have any more missives? Boyson Rat's missive included a cipher verse used to obtain further intelligence from an informant at Merchant's Crossroad near Lethian's Crossing. Travel there and find out what this merchant knows. Okay, that's regarding that, yeah, I don't really care. Petition Tunon on Barrack's behalf, report to Bled and Mark, and Ashfield. And then get to Lethian's Crossing. The place I used to administer. The Banner of Ardent. Tier 1. And the Hammer of Sunder. Tier 1. Kills and Shadows getting some loyalty to me. Ebb is getting up there. Wow. Starts off at tier 2 there. And Burst all the way up at 4. Barracks in 2. Burst technically isn't 4, that's still loyalty 3 for now. Lantry is just over 1. The Vendrian Guard, full wrath, no favor. Sage's Guild, tier favor. The Disfavored, half wrath, no favor. Scarlet Chorus, 2 wrath, no favor. Graven Ash, full wrath, no favor. Nerat, half wrath, no favor. Bled and Mark. Almost tier 1 favor. No wrath. Let's unlock the Sigil of Material Force. Create spells that alter the target's weapon. Light your target's weapon aflame, causing all attacks made with... Aw, that's not what I wanted it to do. I wanted to heat metal so I can heat my opponent's weapon, so they're forced to drop it because it's too hot to touch. That's what I wanted. Arid lands. Channel energy to form a sweltering zone of sultry heat in an area. As long as enemies remain in the field, they are continually fatigued. Ah, neat.
Look at that, future corpse.
I'm getting too old for this.
You just surround and beat them up. Good to know that they just explode like that. Or some of them, you know, do.
Shh. That? Once.
I knew you would come. You must feel as I do the connection.
Hey, Vivi! Can't stop thinking about Pretty Plant controlling your brain. As you should be. That's exactly how I want you, Petal.
Trouble is afoot.
Stream froze mid-Petal? Oh no! That's a you problem. My stream's fine. You are a pet. So, I mean, you know, I'm glad you know that at least. That's the most important part anyway. Stop resisting! Blood-soaked stone.
Flawless.
And drop them again yourself.
This isn't working.
Or try to drop them again yourself, I suppose.
Sorry, I can't.
I'm just Petal, you know, just a pet. Oh no, my entry went down. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
Well, we can now investigate over here. And there's items over here. Iron ingot.
Can't do that.
And a couple gemstones. Which works for I. So Vivi, is it still frozen for you?
More tally to the body count.
Only froze for a second. Okay.
I'm going down.
Barrack, no.
As you command.
Uh-huh. Hi. Fall before me!
I can't take much more of this.
Okay, we need to hang back and heal back on up. Or go back and take out the magic user.
You look as if you have something on your mind. What can I do for you?
Tell me about the disfavored, Barrick. Why didn't the Legion prevent the uprising of Indria as well? I think that's a question you ought to ask of the Scarlet Chorus. They too were charged with ensuring the locals remain vanquished and unarmed. Barrick lurches forward as he speaks, iron plates grinding under his motion. The chorus, if the chorus had conscripted more aggressively, perhaps there would not have been an uprising. Agreed. We never relied upon the Scarlet Chorus to win victories, only to recruit in number and secure our holdings. They were asleep on the watch. The Vindrian Guard should have been slaves of the chorus, not free men and women allowed to plot and conspire. So why is the Legion called the disfavored? It is a name born in shame, now worn in honor. If Graven Ash stood against Kairos, he was forced to give up much. His allegiance, his pride, and the name of his vaunted army. What was the Legion originally called? The name has been forgotten by all save Ash and Kairos, and it is considered bad form to bring up the topic. Since you didn't know any better, I will say this much. Disfavored is the only name by which one needs to know us. Okay.
My Lord Binder, you have something which requires my attention? What can I do for you?
Questions of the Scarlet Chorus. The allies that were supposed to help us conquer the Tears? Common criminals, every last one of them. What'd you like to know about them? Tell me of the troops and tactics. Tactics? This is the first I've heard of them. The chorus is more of an irregular mob than a proper army. Still, it is a well-armed mob, and they even have a few proper warriors and magicians in their pitiful excuse for ranks. How is it led and supplied? The Voices of Nerat gives orders to his elite commanders, who in turn send instructions out to the gang captains. Beneath that hierarchy, it is chaos. Whole gangs break from the larger force and disperse back into their homelands. The chorus is inefficient beyond words, and yet more bodies keep coming in to replace those lost in the mess. Inefficient? Every weakling lost in the shuffle is one less burden to those in the choir still dancing to the song of battle. Our ways must be harsh, otherwise the stupid and the soft will inherit the chant. Now, the chorus has a lot of mouths to feed, so the conscripts that can't or won't fight are made to gather food and water. Else, I'm told, they're fed to the pigs, becoming food and water, in a sense. A fine contrast to the honor, efficiency, and decency of the disfavored. The Legion demands courage and tenacity, but provides us with good iron, and does not leave its soldiers to forage like vultures. What sort of magic do they use? The blood chanters are the mages who follow the Voices of Nerat. Like the chorus itself, their order is not steeped in tradition and antiquity, rather built on knowledge stolen from other guilds. Their fire magic earns them a place on the battlefield, but they also have chants that stir the mind and the heart. The motherless sods have spells that can bolster a man's courage, or tap into his fears. Okay, Barrick.
Quiet down. Come at me, grave meat.
Come and face my iron!
This old man is...
Shake her head and singe Scarlet Course report. The edges of the report appear to be burnt, the words faded. Through the barely legible scribbles, you can make out the names of various tools of torture and the people on which they were applied. Beside each entry is a span and a year. You notice further up the names sound more northern, and the years far precede the conquest of the tears.
Worn out. I need rest.
Folant of the Sages Guild. The sage has clearly suffered at the hands of his captors. Burn marks cover his legs and shoulders slump unnaturally. Looks in stunned disbelief. Thank you. I can't believe those blackguards are finally dead. May they rot. Farewell. Thank you again. I'll take my leave, but tread carefully. The chorus are crazy and disorganized, but that is part of their strength. Don't let them get the drop on you.
Will do.
Some torn leather spalders. And we can't climb up there. Okay. Back to the Ashweald. I have 2 purple regions now. Yay! I'm good, Vivi. Are you good? The shadows before you twist and flare, fusing sharply into the form of Bled and Mark. The Archon of Shadows glides smoothly into his new surroundings.
You're not dead yet? Good. Keep this up, as I've no interest in searching the shadows for your corpse. I've caught a few glimpses of what you did back there with the Edict of Fire. Did you mean to channel the magic of the Edict?
I'm not sure what you mean.
You don't? From my vantage point, the torrents of arcane fire didn't just vanish. They roiled and billowed like smoke. I could have sworn you were channeling that energy. Perhaps the magic was seeking you. Whatever the case, you seem a little different. You smell of brimstone and crisped parchment. You are different than before you broke the edict. I will leave it at that. Either way, you filch the Silent Archive and can benefit from its influence. To be honest, even I don't know the full extent of what knowledge it can offer you, but I do know the sages poured lifetimes of effort into it. I imagine the archive was at its most useful when it was still a part of the library, before the edict did a number on it. But even now, it has a myriad of secrets to share. Can you hear its whispers? No? Then listen harder, kid.
I was never allowed to see the Silent Archive when it was in working order, but I knew there were elaborate rituals to put information into the archive, or to ask a specific question of it. You are holding the physical vessel of the Silent Archive, and while I doubt it was designed to be used outside of the chamber where it's been housed for centuries, I'm told sages who used to work with the archive reported it would speak to them in their dreams. In the benign educational sense, not in the go crazy and eat your family sense of things. I'm sure it's perfectly safe.
But it whispers such sweet nothings to me. Gain minor fear and wrath. I gain loyalty from Lantry, saying perhaps I should have you hold on to it then. Or gain average favor of Bledden, which honestly I think I want more. If Bledden Mark says I'll benefit from possessing it, then I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. The Archon arches a red-smeared brow. He smirks, though he at least makes a pretense of attempting to keep a straight face.
You need to be a lot more threatening than you are now, and a little study and practice won't suffice. You'll need to aim bigger. You'll need to track down the relics of tears that escaped capture in the war. In the Blade Grave, the Stone Sea, and Haven each, there lies at least one artifact that can aid such an aura. Be prepared to travel far and wide in the effort to recover them. Aside from the practical point of getting you armed, uncovering these relics could lend you some legitimacy in the eyes of the Tearsmen, depending on how you go about it, of course.
I know the regions of Stalwart hoarded many relics. Perhaps I should look in the Blade Grave. I was thinking of heading to the Stone Sea. What should I look for when I'm there? I'm headed to Lethian's Crossing. Is there something there I should look to acquire?
Tunon has sent a forge-bound master to the crossing, and this mage-smith has just finished work on a masterpiece dubbed the Magebane. It's an iron helmet infused with wards against the Bane. While this is intended to help keep the settlement free of scourges from the nearby old walls, it would be of great use to you personally. Call it a hunch, but I'm betting you'll find the Magebane's creator, Zedenya, sweating over the fires of Lethian's forge. And while I doubt you can just convince her to hand you the helm, her knowledge of it could prove helpful to your little heist. The crossing is by a junction in the old walls, so you'll have a chance to put the helmet's Bane ward to the test. When you're ready, meet me here once more. We'll discuss what's next.
Wait, I have questions. The archon lets out a short sigh as color returns to his image. Well, make it quick. What do you want to know? What do you know about the old wall spires throughout the tiers? Now you're asking the right kind of questions, kid. What's the best thing to have when someone's trying to knife you in the back? No, not an iron cuirass. Think bigger, more impenetrable and taller. Like a stone spire that can quite literally raise you above your enemies. He bares his teeth, but there's no warmth to his smile. There's a power that comes with standing above the rest, you know? That's all. Thanks. With a nod, he fades into the darkness.
My Lord Binder, you have something which requires my attention? What can I do for you?
Okay. To the mountain spire. At the end of the road, a small child crouches next to an abandoned wagon, rummaging through its contents. From afar, she resembles a bedraggled urchin, smirking face lined with dirt, her tunic torn and thoroughly stained. She spots your approach and lets out a small yelp, sprinting off to the copse of trees and vanishing from view. You follow the child as she weaves between the trees until the forest gives way to the open fields of a small farmstead, empty from the last harvest. The girl leads you across the grounds, past 2 empty houses and a row of clay beehives, eventually racing to an open barn. As you enter after her, you see a clutch of children huddled in the rear, trembling as you approach. There are 6 in all, gaunt faces and tired eyes shared amongst them all. One boy drops a small knife as you approach, letting it vanish within the folds of straw at his feet. The children swear they are alone, claiming to be orphans from a massacred village. They fled during the fighting and retreated to this farmstead. Its owners, they claim, slain by Kairos' forces. The barn is full of harvested rye and a few jars of stored honey. No doubt the reasons why these children are still alive. Leave them food and money, send them to train as spies for Tunon's court. Ask about the empty cart. Ask about the empty cart. Some of the children exchange concerned glances before the little girl you trailed speaks up. Her voice wavers, and she blurts out a stammering explanation. The cart was likely used by a traveling merchant, and abandoned soldiers once clashed in the nearby area. Her eyes flick to the ground for a brief moment, long enough for you to follow its gaze to a leather boot barely visible between tied bundles of standing straw. You push past them and kick aside the bundles, revealing the corpse of a middle-aged man with multiple puncture wounds in his neck and back. Children gasp at the revelation, and some begin to cry. The young girl pleads innocence, claiming that the man discovered the farm and attacked her, pinning her in the straw before her friends returned and stabbed him to death. She begs you to believe her. Leave the children food and rings. The stored supplies will last the children another season, but not much beyond that. You open your pack and hand the children a few pieces of cured meat and, more importantly, some rings, advising them to find a nearby settlement and seek out care. The group is grateful, but cautious, not budging from their protective cluster until you step out of the barn. Everyone gets inspired. I don't actually lose money, I don't think. The farmstead isn't very visible from the main road, but the trails leading to it, marked by worn brush and flattened grasses, will be spotted by other travelers. The orphans cannot hide for long. Sculpture doesn't respond to your touch. Shame.
At your service.
Let's discuss current
Of
matters.
course. How can I help?
You're taking lots of notes. What about?
All kinds of things. My mind is old. Memory's a sieve. Keeping track of you, noting what I hear of the war, scribbling down reminders to myself, that sort of thing.
Are you spying on me?
Well, yes. If I'm worth my weight in tin as a craftsman of record, future generations will know of you. So yes, the Archon of Posterity sent me. You seem troubled by something that ought to be an honor.
Is it safe to be writing on your arms that much?
Oh, certainly not. But it depends on the ink I'm using. Too much cerulean and I can't sleep. But just the right amount, and I can write all night. The red ink will give you swamp bottom if you drink it, but absorbed through the skin, it'll make you taste colors and smell music. Speaking of which, I should change out my tip. I use 3 kinds: sepia, cerulean, and a red that's never the same shade. My recipe needs work. I like having 3 colors, but they also provide different states of mind for writing.
Your inks sound like fun. Can I try them?
Oh, no.
Insufficient,
I'm
right?
trying to observe you. Corroding your mind is not part of the plan.
Okay.
At your
Yours.
service, Fatebinder. What do you need?
I've learned a thing or two about fighting the Scarlet Chorus. Care to duel?
That would be an understatement, and I thought you'd never ask. Since you're obviously at a huge disadvantage, I'll let you pick our weapon of choice.
Let's try dual-wielding knives.
Exotic. Good choice.
Her slash and parries with unrestrained ferocity. At times it becomes difficult to follow her movements. After taking more than a few cuts, you learn to relax your eyes and better follow the subtle motion of her dance.
You held your own. Call me impressed. Need anything else, or did I tire you out?
We'll talk again later. Two missives, one from Tunon. Fatebinder, allow me to be the first to congratulate you on resolving the situation at the Burning Library. Fatebinder Rogalus could not be more pleased by your choice to preserve the texts and relics of the old sages. Or perhaps he's overjoyed that their grip on the library is now entirely broken. In either case, he almost borders on giddy. Almost. I do not share his loathing of the old guild. They built their own pyre on their hubris, true, but my opposition to them remains purely professional. It gladdens me that not that or every myriad secret met the flame. I suspect that an ambitious Fatebinder would have collected a few stray scraps of lore, perhaps as much as they could carry out. I hope you soon make an effort to join us at court in the bastard city. I often feel that it's been too long since we last whispered in the darker corners of Teratus. You've experienced so many of them as of late. Perhaps I can provide illumination. Callio? Fatebinder Claire, forgive me for the curtness of this rushed missive. The matter is too urgent for the luxury of formalities. I know that you braved the flaming ruins of the Vellum Citadel. The archive. Did you find it? Is it safe? Further information. You seem to possess more than a passing familiarity with the Silent Archive. I thought it was something of a secret. Perhaps an exchange of information is in order. Tell me what you know of it, and I can provide you with its current whereabouts. Yeah, let's go with that answer. Non-committal. Iron Storm. Swords and javelins emerge from Barrick's armor and fly into a cloud of iron above the Fatebinder. These weapons begin to rain down in a storm around the Fatebinder, damaging enemies nearby. Well, that's good. Well, we need to properly camp. We will rest here at the tower, where we're safe. Rest for 8 hours. Everyone's better now. Merchant Crossroads. Day and 5 hours, yeah. Merchant Crossroads is probably on the actual pathway. Ambush! Group of mercenaries, members of the Bronze Brotherhood, are blocking the road to Lithaean's Crossing. Ooh, missive. Fatebound declare, you have me under Mark's blade. I possess only scraps regarding the archive, fragments gleaned from oblique references across a dozen texts. The sages sought a way to preserve all knowledge they collected, yet have it easily accessible to those they felt worthy of their secrets. I have found no reliable references to what solution they eventually settled on. There certainly exist indications that they implemented something. Several documents intercepted over the years, some as recently as the Conquest of Tears, make reference to the sages bearing their discoveries to the Velen Citadel as tributes to be paid to the Silent Archive. The manner in which they wrote of it, I half expect you to tell me that the archive is a living person, some sage volunteer kept alive, or else in a state very like life, through the guild's arts of preservation and healing, their mind forcefully filled to its borders with every stroke of ink set to parchment, compelled through sigils of domination to reveal what they know of those bearing secret signs. I enter the realm of speculation, I fear, for we have exhausted what little evidence I have. Keep me in suspense no longer, Claire. What became of the archive? I destroyed it. I consigned the knowledge hidden in the Silent Archive to the flame, as per the Overlord's restrictions on forbidden knowledge. I never found it. Fortunately, I didn't find the object. Perhaps the edict reduced it to ash, or it never existed at all. I destroyed it. As Kairos would have wanted. Alright, I'll just head up here. A tall woman stands here, surveying the area from a small overlook. She glances at you and immediately goes back to watching her surroundings. Welcome to Ironhall Trail, Fatebinder of Tunon. She salutes you. My name is Welby, first axe for the Bronze Brotherhood. Though I'm not sure that title matters anymore. She pauses to gather her thoughts, and opens her mouth to continue. Instead, she exhales slowly and shakes her head. Never mind. You needn't be burdened with my problems. While I appreciate you coming to me before speaking to the Raitsamon, you will need to be careful. He has, of late, been acting out of sorts, and any perceived slight can become a problem for the one who offends him. Choose your words with him carefully. How could talking to you offend a Raitsamon? You chose to speak to the first axe before speaking to the actual first brother, the bodyguard before the leader. How could this mean anything but collusion and treason? I know I speak out of turn, but I only wish to warn you. Tread lightly, Ratamon. Okay. By your leave, Fatebinder. Be careful. Photo is much more organized with Ratamon in control. Aster and Will? A small figure stands before some armor-clad soldiers. His arms move wildly as he gestures in frustration, yelling at the man directly in front of him. Absolutely not! I've come through Ironhall Trail more times than I can remember. No one ever asked for a toll before, and I won't be paying one now. He notices you standing nearby and turns to speak. Fatebinder, surely you of all people can help me. My name is Aster, and I must get to Lithaean's Crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll. to him or anyone, and he is to let me through. He folds his arm over his chest and nods with a pronounced finality. Greetings, Fatebinder. I am sorry you have been drawn into this. What you've stumbled into here is merely a conflict of the changing times. I am Will of the Bronze Brotherhood. Iron Hall Trail is under our protection, and anyone passing through must obey our rules. If this gentleman would like passage through our land, a simple donation is required. He holds out his hand. These funds help our cause and keep Iron Hall a safe place for all travelers. Clearly you both can see the value in that. Aster speaks, his arm swinging about again, emphasizing his words. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You, standing there with your weapons at the ready against me? His arms drop when he turns to you again. I'm not but a traveling merchant. I have no money to spare, and I certainly pose no threat to anyone. Keep this area safe indeed. He points at Will. You are the only threat here. 50 ring toll. Like what tier of ring? Here's payment for the merchant to pass. That'll give me some favor for the crossing. Address Will. This man will not be paying a toll today. Call your guards off and allow us passage immediately. Gain minor favor. Just because you passed through before means nothing. Pay the toll now or head back. You try my patience. For minor wrath, or this is a waste of my time. You are on your own, merchant. You know what? I'll pay the 50 ring toll. Because I want more favor with Lethian's Crossing, which should like me more than this, but probably will want to enter town. Thank you, Fatebinder. You have done a great deal of good today. 50 copper, not bad. Turn it back to the soldier. And you, brute, move aside and let me pass. Will makes an exaggerated flourish and moves out of Aster's way. But of course. He raises an enormous hammer and stops Aster, pressing it against his chest. Though, merchant, do be sure to have some rings of your own for your trip back. Doubt your friend here will be around to pay your way through these lands twice. He smiles, moves his hammer, and gestures for Aster to continue. Will returns to his position, looks you over, his former genial mood gone. So, a Fatebinder in a little corner of the world. Who'd have ever thought this would happen? He spits between his feet and crushes it into the dirt with his boot. While I appreciate your help dealing with that merchant, I'm afraid I can't let you pass until you've spoken with our leader, Uraitsamon. Personally, I thought he was crazy saying you'd be visiting Lethian's Crossing. Looks like I owe him a few rings. He shakes the pouch around his neck, making the rings inside jingle melodically. Not that there's a shortage of those out here. What can this humble servant of the Brotherhood do for you, Fatebinder? And don't ask me to let you through, because that isn't happening. This ridiculous piece of mercenary offal requires a lesson in pain and obedience. Allow me to teach him. Thanks, but I can handle it myself, Beric. If you don't feel like paying the toll, I can point you back the way you came. If you need an idea of where to go, because I can't let you through. I will speak with Uraitsamon. I'll be counting the seconds until you return. While you were talking to Will, a striking man with a shock of bright blonde hair approaches, moving away from some men searching bodies of slain soldiers to the south. He watches you intently as he closes, his angular features pulling into a look of disdain. And here's the Fatebinder. He doesn't mask the displeasure in his voice. I knew we'd see you. I was just wondering when. One trip to Lethian's Crossing wasn't enough, Governor? Bronze Brotherhood were the original protectors of the crossing, but the past controlled Kairos' forces and stayed as retainers. Over time, they proved too disorganized to keep the peace. You handed the settlement over to the disfavored, trusting in their discipline to maintain in order. The Brotherhood missionaries consider this a slight on their lawful claim. He doesn't even mask the contempt in his voice. You have to return where no one asked you to come? Throwing me out of my home wasn't sufficient? Are you here to disrupt my life some more? He looks at his men, who stop to watch the conversation. You aren't done. He flicks his hand at them, and they return to their searching. It doesn't really matter why you're here. I don't care. I have more important things to worry about. In case you've forgotten me already, my name is Uraitsamon. I am First Brother, leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. But I'm sure you already knew that. I couldn't help but see you over here, talking to Will and that traveling merchant. Only here for a moment and already sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, aren't you? I don't appreciate others invading my territory, Fatebinder. I told her she had to speak with you, Raitamon. She wanted through, but I told her no. If you don't give me the signal, the Fatebinder isn't getting to Lethian's Crossing. No one will invade your territory. Raitamon stares at Will for a few moments, lips pursed, then continues as if Will never spoke. Speaking of which, what did Welby have to say? He looks north where Welby stands, watching you both intently. Has she already started filling your mind with lies about me? She and I are going to have a chat soon. I can't have my first acts countermanding me at every turn. I know she wants my position. Watch yourself while you're a guest in my land. If you have come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped and I will not back down in defense of what is rightfully ours. He sweeps his arm in front of him, gesturing to the surrounding countryside. Welby and I might not always agree, but that is one point we see eye to eye on. If you step out of line, we will both correct you. His eyes narrowed and leans towards you. You are not welcome here. Now tell me what you want or leave. Why are you charging a toll? I don't see how the affairs of the Brotherhood are your business, Fatebinder. Suffice it to say, the funds we receive from our tolls help us keep the lands around Lethian's Crossing safe. We are owed our dues, and we shall have them. I'm not welcome in your land? This is not your land anymore. Such arrogance is the precursor to the mighty fall, Fatebinder. I may not currently have control of Lethian's Crossing, but we both know possessions are fleeting. Lethian's Crossing is my home, and your imagined control over our lives doesn't change that fact. You would do well to watch your tone when speaking to a Fatebinder. Raitamon laughs hollowly. I care not about Kairos' forces. I've already reaped the rewards of my loyalty, and I will not make that mistake again. You have taken my home, but I will have it back. I won't cower when you raise your voice against me, lapdog. If you look for trouble, Raitamon, here it is. I knew you couldn't be trusted, cad. The forces of Kairos will always show their true face if pushed. Raitamon retreats, calling his men as he runs. Guards, we have a snake in our midst. To arms! Oh, and he runs away like a coward. Like a coward?
I knew you would come.
Hey, Lisa.
This isn't working!
I see. Okay. No,
Can't
come
do
on.
that.
I'll hit you twice as hard next time!
Come at me.
Gang up on him.
What the fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Alright, he's leveling up in the middle of combat. What do you get, buddy? He's already has that stance. Enemies nearby barrack have their resolve reduced. You know, it just increases damage. Nothing to loot? Dang. Okay. Well, let's finish wiping out these bozos.
Let's do it, you and me. On it.
I will aid you. I will aid you.
Flurry of
On it.
blows.
Come back here and die. On it.
More tallies to the body.
Damn thing couldn't pierce
Yeah, these guys aren't tough at all. I'll be real with y'all.
cloth.
So I have a bonus ability somewhere, don't I? Oh, here it is. Could do a shockwave once per rest, or force of peace once per rest. Oh, okay, once per rest. Strange strength. That's my reputation ability here, and it's yeah, just once a minute basically.
I think my wisdom is finally catching up to my...
Loot the hammer.
Can't do that.
And we'll get a lesser cyclical energy scroll. Scroll and some hide. Contains a magical accent, which slightly reduces a spell's cooldown. Okay. We also got in here... Is it not an actual item? Or did I like already hand off? There it is, the Silent Archive itself. Oh, an accessory. +1 to wits and resolve, and +10 to trap detection. Okay. It adds to wit and resolve. And hold on to it. Cyclical energies 1 and 2. Acquired your first fire. Home base. Free location to rest and recover. You discover more functionality to get more. Get a great deal of power. New bar displays your current level of power. Press C and view your current level of power. Oh. 650. Neat. Artifacts. Artifacts are powerful magic items that, when wielded, grant their owner a new ability. Artifacts are known throughout the tiers, and the greater empire beyond. As an artifact's rep grows, the ability becomes more powerful. Nope, nothing hidden here. To the Merchant Crossroads. Another 3 hours over. Speak to Malphora? Of Lethian's Crossing. I'm not open for business, friend, and I'm not looking for trouble. Bastila on Lethian's Crossing expects me with a shipment shortly. Wouldn't want to keep her waiting. The merchant watches you warily as you approach, a heavy pack hanging from her shoulders. Soft and well-fed, this one, but look at her stance. She can handle herself. First takes the woman in with a long, appraising gaze. Excuse me? The merchant blinks. Quit the act. Give us what we need to know. What did I say? I said let me handle this. You must have mistaken me for someone else, I assure you. Oh, fine. The road to Stalwart is paved in iron, first size. The farms of Azure are mostly air. She nods with relief. Say nothing. Yet their papers aren't aflame. Charming. Sorry about the formalities. If word get back to the voices that I was cutting corners on security, let's just say I prefer my tongue in my mouth, my bowels in my... well, bowels, I guess. She shakes her head. I know you. You were the governor of the crossing, right? I doubt you remember me. Traders come and go. I'm Malphora. She opens her hand to you, palms out. What do you have for us? Right. Malphora glanced between the two of you before her eyes settle on Verse. The man you're interested in calls himself Crocus. No idea whether that's what his mother named him. Showed up in the crossing a few months back, picking fights and looking for rings. He ran afoul of the garrison, and they stomped the pants gravy out of him. That quieted him down for a bit. When he started casting around for work again, he boasted of his victory against a band of Furies during the war. Not a smart thing to brag about. Very stupid, in fact. You'd think a story like that would scare off any potential employers, but Asa's never been the brightest ring on the rope. She shakes her head. Who is Asa? A cloth dealer originally out of the Azure. Runs a circuit from the crossing to the Brothers, and down to the Calm Riches at the Blade Grave. He hired Crocus and a few others last week, claiming he needed extra protection for his daughter. Why had he brought his daughter to the crossing in the first place? Overlord only knows. Zoe? Aren't you just a puppy? Aren't you just a good little puppy? The first thing you do when you come over here is start barking and chomping at my legs. Like the puppy you are. How you doing, Zoe? What are your thoughts, Verse? Shit sticks. It's not going to be easy to find a caravan between here and the Blade Grave. Verse curls her lower lip below her uneven teeth. You doing good? Good. Luckily for you, I'm very good at what I do. Malphora smiles, produces a scroll from her pack. Usually goes to Stalwart by way of the Ocean Spire, but is cutting east to make time and avoid beasts. She wraps a knuckle on a thick black line. Your best bet is to wait for him here at Hunter's Respite. She points to a position just south of Haven. What can you tell me about Hunter's Respite? A small stretch of wilderness far enough off the trade road to dissuade raiders, but near enough to avoid losing much time. The isolation recommends it, but not much else. Honestly, the Respite's starting to get too well known as a stopover. I give it a year before thieves start hitting it. Who are you exactly? Mostly I'm open ears. Came up in the bastard tier, but made for Haven when I could leave home. She twitches, the waves off a bug that buzzes past you. Started hauling goods between the crossing and Sunder, eventually expanding down to the Brothers, and even as far as Ardent in a good year. The conquest was bad for business. By then, though, I heard and knew a lot more than I did before. Thought I could turn a profit swapping information with the Archon. I thought, right? Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Hail, Kairos. She straightens and quickly salutes. Am I supposed to wait for him and hope he shows up? If you want to catch Crocus, yes. Aisa's taken the southern road out of Haven, so he'll almost certainly stop there. He's never made a great secret about it being his favorite resting stop around these parts. Thank you, Malphora. Yeah, thanks. When you find this bastard, we'll open him from balls to chin. You now know everything I know about the so-called Fury Slayer. If you have any other questions, you'll have to ask someone else. Malfour bows informally at the waist. Hunter's Respite. Now we're going to Lethian's Crossing. An uneventful day on the road is interrupted by a loud cry. An old man, dirt-encrusted and wild-eyed, dressed in little more than tattered rags, emerges from the brush, charging feebly towards you with a sword held high. For Apex! His sandals catch a tree root, sending him tumbling into the dirt. His brittle blade strikes the ground first, snapping in two. He clutches his ribs and whispers a low groan, lying on the ground for an uncomfortably long time. His moans give way to rhythmic, heavy breathing, and just as you step forward to determine if the old man has fallen asleep, he picks himself up, wagging the useless blade at you. The day is ours, dogs of Kairos. The man continues to ramble, and it soon becomes clear that he believes himself late for the first battle of Apex. He is correct, in a sense. The battle was waged over 2 years ago. Blissfully unaware of his kinsman's failure, he demands your surrender before generously offering to settle for a mere ransom. Convince him to wage war against Graven Ash or Nerat. Against Graven Ash. You wait for the old soldier to finish his lengthy tirade before speaking. As he calms, you assure him that your interests and Apex's are one and the same, insisting the true aggression is a shared enemy, the rogue Archon. The name Graven Ash fills the old man with seething rage, and it's all too easy to persuade him to take the fight directly to the Archon stronghold. You promise him the backing of 1,000 tiersmen and point him towards Iron Hearth, hopefully drawing him a map. He sets off on the road, broken blade in hand, to the Archon's mounted fortress, where hundreds of Graven Ash's elite await him. I gained some wrath. A little bit of wrath. That's fine. Cool, the disfavored garrison in Lethian's Crossing.
I'm not here to make friends. Let's try that again. Sorry, I can't.
And again, let's take one of them down real quick. Let's knock that one down. And if you're close to them.
What the fuck is wrong with my weapon?
This weapon is entirely worthless.
Harsh words would cause more harm than this useless weapon.
Alright, come on.
Count on it.
I need to try a different weapon. not in time.
Hey, leveled up. Good job, buddy. 2 points to upgrade wits to 21. Oh, past 20 costs 2 points. Oh, I see. Let's start reducing spell cooldowns then. Passage of hours. Surrounds the target in a bubble of slowed time, slowing their action's movement speed. Or significantly increased health restored by a second breath, and protect revived characters with damage for a short time. Lantry skips forward, vanishing from combat and healing. Upon his return, he releases a wave of energy that reduces recovery of nearby allies. Let's see, what are some of the higher abilities? Yeah, I don't really care about those. Passive bonus, subfusion dodge, lore master, voice of ages, ability to decipher ancient languages. Oh! Yeah, let's make sure to get him up to here in Sage. Or start his deeds, inspiring his allies and instilling terror in the hearts of enemies. Okay.
I will My armor is dented. Let me repair it.
La da da da. Dee da doo da dee da da. Merchant tents are common sighting in Lethean's Crossing. Frozen Shackles. When critically hit, frozen shackles are an impediment made for short-term prisoners. The cold air and volatile magic they forging are intended as deterrents for notably cruel guards. Okay, take
Sorry,
them.
I can't. Can't do that. They won't see me coming. Right.
La da da da. Alright, fine, just smack that one.
Count on it.
Just hurry up and take them out. Stop resisting! Oh, this will hit both of them. Cool. Now then I'll tell this one to stop resisting.
Will do.
Consider it done.
Okay, once per encounter. Let's do that. Sorry.
Take that!
Yeah.
On it.
Alright, so they are still afraid. Force the winch? No, just lower the bridge.
Sorry, I can't.
Yeah, it's currently raised. Due to the frequency of raids, all the bridges and ramps at Lethian's Crossing can be raised to provide a safe place for the settlers to hide. If I just like walk past?
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Iron greaves, whetstone, and broken hilt. Bring this item to blacksmith, a Spireforge upgrade to investigate it further. Ooh, bronze ingot. Oh, I didn't go over there.
You learn something every day.
Yes, item there. Let's see. You get these light leather gloves, which have the same stats as the fine quality Scarlet Fury gloves I'm wearing. What else we got? The Iron Greaves here. Overall wears. And then not really worried about the rest. Do you have a lot of things to sell? How do the boots stack up? Okay, we can sell the boots. What are you? Slower recovery, more deflection, disengagement, defense. Nah. Opal and a sigil of rooting. Oh, I leveled up. I didn't even notice. Attacking stealth enemies that are struck have the armor reduced to combat ends. Powerful upward blow that launches the target into the air. Ooh. Defensive bonus to you and nearby party members when thrust is used. an aura of will that removes harmful effect from you and each ally every few seconds. Granting will to inspire allies, boosting the damage of you and your party for a short amount of time. Refuse pain. Rooted affliction to force and atrophy spells. Yeah, I can't actually talk to anyone yet. They're just all cowering. Instead of, like, talking to me. Oh, there's magic over there. I guess that's where we're going.
I'm not here to make friends. Get back!
Flurry of blows. Need to go and drop that one.
Not a problem, boss.
Spike that one.
Take that!
Quicken. Stab.
You got it.
Smash. And that's once per rest. Shame. Well, Bong just does dazed affliction, does a bunch of damage. It interrupts.
Take that! Can't do that. Right.
Blood-soaked stone.
Harsh words would cause more harm.
That's how it's done.
As the last of the enemy soldiers dies, life returns to normal in Lithian's Crossing. Iron Guard gauntlets of superior quality. Nice. Merchant Helena. Fine day, my friend. Might I interest you in my wares? I have all manner of goods I know you need. What do you have? Let's see if we can find something you like. Exquisite tier things. Oh, whoa. This heavy leather armor. I'll lose the opportunist, but it's better than everything except /crush armor. Alright, but let's sell some things. Like, everything on this list here can be sold. And this list needs to be kept. And some of these things I can sell. Cairn's leaf, yeah, I'll sell that. I don't care for it. Beast blood pollen, yeah, I'm scared of that. Bane essence, let's keep that. Elixir of wits. It doesn't say for how long. It's just +1 to wits. Permanently? Question mark. It's like this does vitality and might for 300 seconds. Immune to engagement for 120 seconds. I don't know if I could do alchemy and use any of these things. I probably can. So I'm probably shooting myself in the foot by selling it all right now. However, I'm not going to stop. Jeez. Alright, Sage's Hood, Horde Boots, Vengeance Guard, Light Bronze Gauntlets, these light leather boots, these Sage's Robes, sell all those freely. Earthshaker Hoods, yeah, sell those. I'll hold on to everything else for the moment out of that list anyway. Iron Heater Shield, Bronze Dagger, these 2 swords, that dagger. Ooh, got an iron ring. Nice. Another merchant. Show me what you have for sale. Ah. Sigil of Frost and Lightning. I'll buy those. Oh, I already know both of them. Well, that's a shame. I wish you would tell me that. Maybe it would have. What do you have for sale? Ooh, Relentless, the bow. How does it stack up? Shorter range, less armor penetration, less DPS, but more accurate, and faster recovery. Interesting. Tearsman Hunting Bow. Ah, this is just a direct upgrade to the Tearsman Hunting Bow. Goes from fine to superior. Makes sense. Tearsman Great Bow. Kind of a same thing as the Hunting Bow. What if I look at the Oathbound Dagger? How does it compare against Red Rivers? More DPS, more accuracy, slightly longer recovery, slightly more armor penetration. So, better is what I'm reading. She's gonna keep Gutsinger, but we're gonna get rid of these other ones, yeah. She's gonna keep these as keepsakes. Thanks, Tychus. Beast woman. Talk to her next. Ooh. Ooh, vile tongue. It's poisonous. Less armor penetration than either of the other two weapons. But slightly more DPS, more accuracy, faster recovery. It has less range as ranged attack. And everything else is like kind of the same. But on a crit, poisoned versus their endurance. Interessant. Archon bronze. Greetings and salutations. The jolly merchant greets you with a smile and a clap on the shoulder. And welcome to Lethian's Crossing, home of the best merchant in the entirety of the tiers. That would be me. At your service. Ooh, mercy. Devastating and rejuvenating. Accelerates recovery on kill. It's a good mace. It's more recovery and less accurate, but more armor penetration, which means any. And more DPS, but the Hammer of Sunder is at renowned tier 2 and will only grow. Staff of Enigma. Oh, it's more and is random type damage. +3 to all magic skills, +10 armor shock. And +10 shock armor, +1% to deflection. Not bad. Now the Manteau of Mirrors with spell reflection. Reflect 20% of incoming hostile spells back to their casters. And the Ring Counter Seal. +10% will defense. And Soft Step Heal Wraps. Giving Subterfuge. Oh, if I right click. I already know all those. But the bleeding accent I don't. I'll buy that. I'll also go ahead and sell those back. Learn. Let's start exploring the interiors of this town. Welcome to Lethian's Mistress. Oh, we walked to the brothel. Cool. What a pleasure it is to see you in my establishment, Fatebinder. It is always an honor to entertain someone of your standing at Lethian's Mistress. If you have need of entertainment or company for a short time, then we look forward to fulfilling those needs. How may I and my entertainers be of service to you? Perhaps another time.
Can't do that.
Exactly, can't do that. Cheese and meat. Meat and cheese. Some mead. we'll talk to Melita in a second. Oh, nope, she didn't really have anything to say. Fair enough. What's in here? Kalia and Callian. Greetings, Fatebinder. Okay, y'all have nothing to say. Then I'ma just loot your house. And then I'll
Can't
leave.
do that.
Loot your house, then leave. That's all I need to do there, I suppose. Sorry, Fatebinder. Bane have been spotted in growing numbers recently. Zelda asks us to seal the old walls. Forge brown apprentices. Heavy leather gloves. Looks all the same numbers as the light ones. Biotus of the Forgebound. Welcome, friend. The merchant cries out to you, his belt jingling with rings. He waves his arms about in a dramatic presentation of his wares. What brings you to my humble trading post? Have some certain something in mind, or just browsing? Have a look. An iron javelin. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. The tenderizer. Place it with the iron great axe? No, it's two-handed. Tenderizer is one-handed. The forge-bound hammer. It's the same as tenderizing without the praying ability. Sigil of volcanic weaponry. Ain't got that. Oh. And verse leveled up off of us learning? Weird. But okay. Increase your finesse. And the eternal flame. Yeah, let's get that one. Forge Master's Prize. Zedenia can be found in the Forge-bound Foundry, known simply as the Forge, east of the river on the first tier of the Moonrise District, just above the ground floor. Gaining the disfavored Wrath. Undying Fatebinder. Shielded with 40 damage for 30 seconds. Sigil of Bleeding and Volcanic Weapon. Uses fire and brimstone to cause material force spells that damage foes in a line.
Don't know about you, but I feel like fight.
If we pop in here, Zedenia should be in here. Master, the Fatebinder is here. Zedenia, Master of the Forge. Zedenia turns and approaches you, her lithe body moving fluidly as she walks. She stops before you, her stance solid and sure, but you see she is standing lightly on her feet, ready to move if necessary. She never takes her eyes off of you. You know she is acutely aware of her surroundings. Fatebinder, may the fires of your forge never cool. She salutes you. I had hoped our paths would cross. What can the servant of the flame do for you? What have you brought to protect Lethian's crossing? I named it the Magebane Helm. I forged it specifically to protect your Forgebound from the bane in the old walls. With the helm in place, its magic will keep them held inside. Why did you create a helm? The Forgebound are crafters of weapons and armor, Fatebinder, not statues and baubles. I make what I know. It is also portable and can be moved easily or used in battle should its protection be needed elsewhere in the future. For the time being, though, it will remain here, protecting the Forgebound. We have a job to do, and cannot do it properly if we are constantly assaulted by outside forces. I've come for that helmet. Give it to me! Are you insane? I made that helmet to protect Lethian's Crossing. I've already placed it above the entrance to the old walls to prevent the Bane from escaping, and it will not be removed for anyone, not even a Fatebinder. I aim to conquer the Tears. Would you rather collect rust in the old walls, or be worn by someone who will one day rule these lands? Or I merely look to inspect it. Tune on us and me personally to ensure that your work is the quality it expects. I aim to conquer the Tears. Danya takes a cautious step backward, examining you closely as she does so. You make a compelling argument, Fatebinder. I'd be hard-pressed to argue against my work being crowned upon someone as capable as you. But as long as the threat of the Bane within the old wall remains, I'm afraid the safety of the forge is paramount. If someone managed to do such a task, then I'd happily see the helmet put to better use. As long as credit is given to the smith who armed you, of course. She gives a quick nod to the other Forgebound before leaving the forge behind you. Sunburnt man dips head in greeting. An outsider never arrives alone. At least, that's what my mother always said. Seems she knew what she was talking about. I am Eldian. Welcome to Lethian's Crossing. Well, if this isn't Tunon's Fatebinder. Welcome back to the Crossing. Haven't seen you around here since you put the disfavored in charge of everything. Must say my memory seems to be failing. Something I never thought I'd say. The way people talk about how you came through and drove the Brotherhood out of town, you should be 10 feet tall and shoot lightning from your eyes. I seem to remember you being a little more human. Can't always tell the content of a pie from its crust, though, can you? For instance, who would give the towns to the disfavored, then walk in and kill them all? Not that I'll miss the rules and schedules, but one has to wonder why you would switch sides so readily. But enough of my prattling. You didn't come here for a history lesson, or to get my opinion of your grandeur. The adjudicator sent you for the Archon of Song, I assume? What can this old fool do for you? What was that about the Archon of Song? Siren? The songbird? Feels like it's half the town she's got mooning over her in that hovel near the river. It's on the first tier if you want to find her. Feel free to take her with you when you go. But seeing as you're not here for her, what can I do for you? If you have questions about our settlement, I'm the one to ask. I have the dubious distinction of being the oldest living resident of Lethian's Crossing, so I've been here for a lot of its history. Eyes, hips, hair, and hearing might be failing, but my mind still remembers everything that happened here. What would you like to know about it? I'll do my best not to go on too long about it. I know I have a problem keeping my conversation short. What can you tell me about the spire? Eldian shakes his head. Sometimes I wonder why Lethian thought it was a good idea to settle here. We already had a Bane problem before the Forgebound set up here. Now that they're using the crossing as one of the main forges, the Bane issue is even worse. Since the Bane are drawn to magical energy, we have to be on constant alert for them escaping. How'd you seal the door? I obtained a keystone that can be used to open or seal the door. One of Kyrus' soldiers found it while they were looking for a way to seal the doors to keep the Banes from escaping. The sealed door is only a temporary measure, though. It holds the Bane back for now, but it won't last much longer. That is why Tunon instructed Zidania to create an artifact to protect Lethian's Crossing from the Bane. Will you let me into the old walls? I'm afraid that's a risk I'm not willing to take, Fatebinder. Once the doors are unsealed, there's a good chance Bane will flood into Lethian's Crossing. As much as I would love to help you, I can't endanger the town like that. Tell me your thoughts on the Bronze Brotherhood. They were here since the crossing was founded. Lethian herself hired them to protect the settlement when it was just getting started. A fledgling town in the shadow of the old walls. They did such a good job. She kept them on as our peacekeepers, and that's how things went. At least, until he decided to oust them and put someone else in their place. Can't say I wouldn't have done the same, truth be told. Taking pay from two employers is always going to end badly if you can't make both of them happy. On top of that, it seems lately that Ratamon is traveling a path no one can see, and I don't want to see what's at the end of it. Oh, well. Ratamon is kind of on my shit list. So. Tell me what you think about the disfavored. Strict curfews, frequent searches, no forgiveness for missed iron and grain quotas. That's the ill of it. But the sentries keep constant vigil and treat us with respect. Politeness, even. Most of them call me Elder and bow. If someone's going fishing in your pocket and taking your crops, may as well be kind about it. The disfavored are committed to honor and dignity in all dealings. And that's so. I've seen the disfavored impale a man for insulting your precious graven ash. I've seen them hang prisoners for eating rats when their food ran low. At least the Scarlet Chorus doesn't have any delusion about cruelty. We do it because it's fun. Honor goes both ways, you balding witch. Those who flaunt the offerings of Kairos' peace find no solace in the Legion. It's definitely not the situation I would have chosen, but things can always be worse. The water might be up to your knees, but it could also be up to your nose, is what my grandmother would tell me. What of the Earthshaker mages? A few have passed through the crossing in recent times, all headed south to the Stone Sea. At least that's the word of it. The mages didn't stay for long. He gestures to the massive stone facade of the old walls, and I'm glad they kept on traveling. If some madman cast a spell that cracked the foundation of the old walls, praise Kairos it hasn't happened. What of the Forgebound? They toil away in their forge houses, day in, night out. Kairos' forces keep them well guarded since they know how to work binding ore into weapons harder than stone or bronze. I've delivered food and kindling to the forge houses, but never had much contact with the artisan mages. How have your interaction with the Scarlet Chorus been? Can't say that I have a strong opinion one way or the other, really. They didn't seem to care much about leaving the settlement behind. Once a decision was made to let the disfavored have control, they left, and I haven't seen much of them since. Okay. I'll be on my way. Of course. I'm headed back home should you need of me. Such slow painting. Let's go looting!
Ah, got it.
Ooh, forge-bound hammer,
Right.
fine quality. Rod spear and sky cap. Master of casting. Is there something you want? Ulantis catches a stare of Lahara, who beams at him, expecting something to occur. Ulantis sighs dejectedly, before turning his attention back to you with a strained smile. Forgive me, Fatebinder. Lahara instructed me to reward you for your aid during the conquest. The conscripted beastmen helped us forge countless iron materials, and in return, I am to show you the location of a supply cache. Allowed Scarlet Chorus to conscript beastmen to the task of hauling iron ore. Is there a problem? His eyes carefully watch Lahara as he answers you. Yes, but these are forge-bound matters. Nothing that concerns the High Court of Tunon, I can assure you. What do you do here in the forge? Keep things running smoothly. Upkeep, mostly. I'm also second in command to Lahara, so in case anything ever happens to her, I'm here to take charge. Carefully said. A muscular woman stands upright from her forge and turns to look at you, the light of the fire playing across her face, making her eyes dance dangerously. A toothy smile breaks across her mouth, the only bright spot on her soot-stained face. Do you kill with your left hand or your right? She rubs blackened palms together, eyeing you expectantly. Normally, I can tell at a glance, but you are a little harder to read. Why would you like to know? The gauntlet is the hardest piece of the panoply, and the most rewarding to work. So many scales, different sizes. Then there's the rivets. She slides her thumbs and finger together, shedding flecks of soot and iron dust. I imagine you see a lot of battle in your line of work. One gauntlet is invariably going to wear out before the other. My mind is always thinking of what will need repairs first. Simple as that. Am I right? But I use both hands. Noted. She clears her throat and wipes her blackened hands on the canvas of her smock. I am Lahara, master of tempering and forge master of Lethian's Crossing. My tasks exceed the hours left in the day, but there is no harm in pausing my work if it means speaking with the Fatebinder. I must say, denying both the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus of extra weapons was pretty brave of you. I expect the Chorus to offer a bribe, but the Disfavored? If they would stoop to those tactics, who knows what else they're capable of? Gain major favor with the Forgebound. Nice. Discipline them for attempting to bribe the court. I may be of assistance. Are you well? You look weary. Ecstatic. Voice matter of fact, and a smile creeps in. The ritual of the forge links heart to hammer. My blood beats only when I strike my ingot. My forge runs too hot if my breath becomes too hurried. The bond is both fatiguing and exhilarating. Is that how you excel at your craft? Well, that and practice, she scowls. But yes, the rituals link the senses to the materials, and the body to the tools. My hand becomes a joint, the hammer at the true end of my arm. I feel the heat of the forge as if it were the weather of the room. Under such circumstances, true focus can emerge. Couldn't that kill you? I should hope so, she laughs, her face flushed in the color of molten metal. Better than being defiled and killed by brigands, poisoned by grain rot, or slain by childbirth. Would not a soldier wish to die in battle? Fascinating. Tell me of the Forgebound. For centuries, my guild has sought the union of magical and manual perfection. While others concern themselves with the arcane for the sake of inordinate power, we study it to overcome the traditional limits of our arts and crafts. The forge is our dominant concentration of study, but not all forge-bound work metal. Some are weavers, carpenters, and one of our otter members fancies himself a chef. The wise and mighty Kairos has been kind to our guild. He offered to put our weapons and armor in the hands of those who would change the world. And he has been true to his word. Forge-bound iron has trampled tears, and all that oppose Kairos' forces rest their heads on forge-bound spears. Can you make me something magical? No. But almost everyone asks. Relics of arcane power must grow into themselves. They are never made from nothing. But what I can do is use my magic to swing my hammer with perfect precision, or work a cantrip to handle molten metal with my bare hands. We can build artifacts of exceeding quality and refinement, but they must be used in great deeds to grow into relics of power. And that is why we seek to put the works of our forges into the hands of the greats. True legends require the alliance of swordmaker and swordmaster. Can you tell me about the master? Zedenia is the best leader I've had the pleasure of working under. She guides the Forgebound with a steady yet stern hand, guaranteeing all of our work is the utmost quality and peerless in every regard. I am Zedenia's second, which is why I am the Forge Master for Lethian's Crossing. Ulantis is my second. Should anything happen to me, I haven't worked with him long, so I don't know much about him or the true, long-lasting quality of his work. But he was appointed by Zedenia, so he must be good at what he does. Let's speak of something else. Can you make something for me? Can? Most certainly. Will? Well, Kairos invented cues for a reason. I have every Iron Walker and every Scarlet Chorus ringleader sending me bribes and flattery, in hopes that I'll work off schedule and make them some special this or one-of-a-kind that. Her mouth moves as to speak, but she falls silent. I did not realize the request was so thoughtless. My apologies. I get unreasonable demands every day, but it's not the volume, it's the purpose. I do resent that Kairos' demands reduce our work to mere quotas. I should be allowed to customize my work for every soldier. Only apprentices have anything to learn from making the same size helmet again and again. Forget I asked. That I will. I must be going. thank you for the conversation. 'Twas enlightening. Thank you. Bane deal large amounts of arcane damage. Yeah, it's gonna be rough to fight against. But I imagine we have to clear them. Charms! The Fatebinder approaches. Must not be allowed to live. Oh. Okay.
More tallies to the running count.
How could I miss?
Come on. Target that one.
No can do.
Once per encounter. Knock him down. Broken element. Oi.
Send them at me in. What?
And let's do that.
Await my
Are you
signal.
afraid of death?
Why are they killing townspeople? Oh, these are just traders. Oh, okay. I thought they were the bronze.
Look at that. Picture floor. Will do. Aye.
La da 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 dee dee doo. Okay. Take you away from all your friends. And then we'll beat you up by yourself. Then I'll launch another fire arrow.
I'm not.
And then we'll wait to lure them back up.
I got it.
You cannot.
Aw, come on. This one should have been taken care of already, gang.
I knew
What's up,
you
Dad?
would come.
Hey, Aqua.
You must feel
How'd you
inside
do?
till you can enjoy this.
Oh, finally, a watering and a stretching. I'm gonna drink some of my leftover tea. Ooh, it's already getting a little sour from the lime. I'll just get some water. And stretch. Ooh. There we go. How you doing, Aqua?
Right.
Waiting for this to slowly finish cooling down.
Count on it. You got it. I'm on it.
Yes. Will do. Trouble is afoot.
You got it.
Come and face my iron! On your knees, worm!
They get beaten up. Kill the Bronze Brotherhood commander. So that is a Bronze Brotherhood. The Bronze Brotherhood Warhammer. Nice. Not oppressing, but is devastating. How does it compare against the Tenderizer? It's a two-handed. Okay. Compare against the Hammer of Sunder. It's technically superior. But, it's not going to get stronger. Whereas this is already up to renown 3, almost 4. I don't know if its damage gets stronger though. I think it's just the ability that gets stronger. The artifact ability of Shockwave. That damage scales with Hammer of Sunder's renown. Okay. Also, we do have these superior gauntlets here. Someone will hold on to it. You will probably wear those gauntlets, right? Oh yeah. You will wear the gauntlets once he's unlocked from the armor. Assuming he can get unlocked from the armor. There are groups of Bronze Brotherhood soldiers in the east and west bank of the river. Kill them all.
Send me your...
All of these fall back. Fall the fuck back. Keep walking back. Barrack, you don't, however. You are to engage them. Now everyone else can turn around and attack them. this is the way of it.
It's a hit!
I need to try a different weapon.
There we go.
This weapon is entirely worthless.
Bronze Brotherhood armor. Slower recovery, so I don't want to use it, because it's half a second. It's also worse in deflection, against corrosion / arcane, and against crush. Better against pierce and shock, though.
You got it.
You're dead.
Step to the side. Let Barrett get through. And then challenge them
Are
both.
you afraid of death, worm?
What other spells do we got over here? Rhyme Spike? Yeah, use the Rhyme Spike.
Consider it done.
On it.
Oh, there's loot. Bronze Brotherhood Axe. Check on Eldian. Most likely safe side his home in Lethian's Crossing. Still be good to check on him. Sunrise Falls, Sunset Spire, Moonrise Falls, Moonrise District. Eldian's house, over here. Okay. Let's check on the Elden home. Let's get the Elden ring. Let's grab Eldian's ring. Reitzbon makes a mocking bow to you. Thank you, Fatebinder. You provided a better distraction than I could have hoped. It was all I needed to retrieve what I came for. I'm going to throw a rock. Before Reitzbon can move, you scoop a rock from the ground and throw it at him. He tries to duck, but he isn't fast enough, and the stone hits him right in the temple. He rocks back momentarily, a large gash appearing on his head. He opens his mouth to speak, thinks better of it, and runs away to the south, stealing the helmet I was going to get. You bastard.
On it.
He's got the helmet that protects the town. He would have come back and the other half of the town is going to be killed. Look who's here. But just a bit too late, aren't you? Reitzbon laughs. He holds a rope, the end of which is binding Zidania's hand. Zidania stares at Reitzbon with an intense hatred. Now that I have the Mage Bane and the Forge-bound Master, nothing can stop me from unleashing the Bane on Lethian's Crossing. Zidania growls and takes a step towards Reitzbon, who jumps back and puts up his hands in front of him. You notice one of his eyes is black and his nose is bleeding, in addition to the welt you caused on his temple with the rock. You motherless cur! Zidania spits at him. Her clothes are splattered in blood and she works her hands, fighting against the bonds holding her. As soon as I free myself, and make no mistake, I will free myself, your blood will join your underlings on my armor. It'll take more than a hammer to my head to take me down. Coward, using your men as a distraction. You know you are no match for me. Raytamon takes another step away from Zedenya before continuing. With the Bane free, I will drive out the invaders that think this is their home and prove that the Bronze Brotherhood are the only ones strong enough to protect Lethian's crossing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a town to endanger so I can save it. Wow. What a bitch.
Send them at me in waves! Come on, face my arm!
See that? That's entirely useless.
Yeah, I can hit all three of those at once. Good, good. And then we will knock that bruiser down. No, not second breath. Yeah, cast this one.
I will teach you.
Alright. Let's use blood-soaked stone. Bonk that one again. I'll use a rhyme spike on that one.
I will aid you. Someone staunch my bleeding.
Oh, so this wasn't actually used. Fair enough.
Take that!
Turn around and attack that one moving. Actually, no, blood soaks down. Titan's touch.
This is embarrassing.
Oh, and he leveled up. Good, good. Let's give you some more health, buddy. Increase the defensive benefits from shields. Let's engage an extra enemy.
Hi. Can't do that.
So we're going back to Eldian's house now? Yeah, ask Eldian where Raytamon might be taking Zedenya. I have a helmet to acquire. I must be in full relic regalia. Fatebinder, come in. I was just told the news that the Magebane helm has disappeared. This is terrible. What happened just now? I had a fighting out there. Are there more of them? Raytamon stole the Magebane helm and captured Zedenya. I was just beginning to believe we were finally safe, but a celebration planned before its time will no doubt become a wake. And without Zedenya, there's no chance of getting another helm. My friends, please, go back to your homes for now. The Fatebinder is taking care of the invaders. I know it's asking a lot after everything that has happened, Fatebinder. Without the helm or Zedenya, we're in the same predicament as we were before. The Bronze Brotherhood have a camp near the old walls at Twin Rivers, and use Deserter's March as a travel route. Either one of these places would be a good place to start looking for Reitzamon and Zidania. Please find them. What can you tell me? Deserter's March is an empty, desolate, and swampy. People don't normally go there, which is why the Brotherhood use it for travel. Less chance of running into someone on the road. If Reitzamon is heading anywhere, he's likely to be using the march to get there. What about the rivers? There's another entrance to the old walls there, and I know the Brotherhood use the area as an outside base of operations. There are even rumors they have been exploring the old walls. If that's true, Reitzamon is even more insane that people have been letting on. What else is going on in town? I hate to add a request upon a request, Fatebinder, but I would ask one more thing of you. The recent attack was horrific, and there are a lot of folks that are in a bit of trouble now. Lahara has lost some of her men in the attack. She was stretched thin before it all, so I'm sure she's going to need all the help she can get. Some townsmen have also gone missing. I've no doubt your assistance could be useful to all of them. So if it wouldn't be too much trouble, please ask the townfolk if they need your help. I know we have no right to ask this of you, but I know you can help where no one else can. At the risk of sounding like the Lord I told you so, Archon of the Obvious, what in Kyrus' name was the long-term plan? They just leave the mage maiden sitting out in the open? Unless they were willing to commit armed guards day and night, it's just asking for someone to steal it. The safety of the settlement is all that matters to me. I hope we're of similar minds on this, Fatebinder. Since you're clearly capable of handling threats, otherworldly or not, I'll see to it that the old walls remain open to you. The passageway leading to the base of the spire will be unsealed upon your return. If accessing it can help you in any way, please use it. I'd like to ask you a few questions. It seems that not all of the Brotherhood agree with Reitzamon. I've heard rumblings about that. Word is that their leader's a paranoid sort. He sees conspiracy and betrayal at every turn. I've seen a few of his lieutenants come and go. Pretty sure they're not all falling in battle. Alright, well, now we have more quests. More things that distract us before heading back to Atunon's court in Bastard City. I hope he doesn't mind me taking these detours. Artifact Hunter. Find a way to get into Theon's Crossing Spire. Way to the Aegis, Petition Tunon, intercept Crocus at Hunter's Respite. Okay, well, looks like the bodies have been cleaned up at least. And we have new merchants standing about. Daya. A Fatebinder! The blonde woman standing at the corner of the building cries out to you as you pass. I need your help. It's terrible. My wife is dead. Gay. Yay. I mean, it's sad that her wife is dead, but she's gay. She puts her face in her hands and sobs. Poor Phaedra. She pulls her hands away, a fierce passion in her eyes. She was slain by the Bronze Brotherhood. This cannot all be allowed to stand. I demand a Fatebinder's justice. I can find her killer, but how do you know it was the Brotherhood? The necklace! Her hand moves to her neck, tracing bare skin. She was wearing the necklace I gave her when he... She bursts into tears. It was a younger man. Sandro. He struck her dead and took the necklace. I was paralyzed. I froze. And just watched. Bearing false witness can lead to even more murder. Are you sure it was Sandro and not some other Brotherhood mercenary? Of course I'm sure. I'd recognize Sandro anywhere. He and Phaedra were friends once. They had a falling out years ago over some trivial matter. He must still be angry about it. I think he took the necklace as a token. You know how these mercenary thugs are. I'll be back after I find Sandro. Kill Sandro and please, bring back the necklace. The thought of those thugs pawning it. You can't let him get away with this. The Brotherhood's hideout somewhere in Twin Rivers. Kill him and give me some peace. What house be this I'm entering? An empty one.
Ah, got it.
Presumably it was their house. But I just looted it. There's scouting mode to gain a bonus to detect hidden containers or traps. Oh well. Scouting mode, you say? Defend party, defend myself, passive or aggressive? Lantry. Saboteur. Focus on opening the party by buffing and debuffing and harassing enemies. Recounting of deeds will be used to frighten enemies and boost morale in allies. Passage of Hours. Quill Strike and Quill Storm will be used in high threat and low health targets. If Lantry sees an opportunity, he will strike with Watcher's Judgment. Party support. Focus on supporting allies. He will use Renewal at the start of combat to bolster ally defenses. He will then use Erase the Record, further increase party strength. If Lantry's health is low, he will attempt to use Gift of Moments. If an ally falls in battle, Lantry will attempt to revive them a second breath. Favor or not use abilities, use basic attacks. Let's go with support. Barrack will focus on protecting the party. At the start of combat, he will use Bond of Honor on an ally, maintain his phalanx stance, and attempt to get the attention of as many enemies as possible. If an ally is in danger, Barrack will attempt to use Defender's Charge to aid them. Verse will fight aggressively in melee, targeting enemies with low health and low defenses. She will attempt to remain mobile on the battlefield and alternate between Red Geyser and Seeking Sheath stances at high health and 3 Whispers at low health levels. When in danger, Verse will attempt to use her Unbound ability to trick the enemy and attack vulnerable enemy targets. And then my AI. Remain passive until attacked. Attack anyone who attacks a member of the party, but will not seek out targets. Yeah, defend party. That's fine. Let's just keep exploring and looting, getting all the items we can, talking to people. Oh, I found a bow. Deersman hunting bow of superior quality. Yeah, it's just, you know, better in every way. Forge-bound hammer is same as the tenderizer without the praying ability. So useless. Bronze Brotherhood axe. Yep. A Widow's Revenge. And got more looting things to it. Why is this loading so long for Lethian's Crossing constantly? iron mace of decent quality.
I'd say that's
Hidden
worth a second
companions. Whetstone and notebook.
glance.
Eastern waterfall. Alright, Melida. Melida has nothing for me. Callian? Yes. Greetings, Fatebinder. I understand that you helped us out when the Brotherhood attacked. Now that things have calmed down, I was wondering if you could help me. My sister, Kalea, disappeared when the Brotherhood showed up, and I haven't seen her since. She seems to have this idea that Lithian's Crossing would do better in the hands of the Bronze Brotherhood. I've tried to persuade her otherwise, but she won't listen. Knowing her, she was probably looking for a way to join the Brotherhood as soon as they arrived. People are saying they were headed towards Desert's March when they ran off. Will they look for her? I have no means of doing it myself. I'm not a fighter, and I have no skills in confrontation. Of course, I'll see what I can find out. She means the world to me, and I'm sick with worry. I'm going to peek inside the wall here. Door creates a near perfect seal with the surrounding walls. Along with the surface, you see several chipped, shallow gouges from failed attempts to force it open. There is nothing to interact with on its panels, and you surmise that it was never meant to be opened from this side. There's an eerie glow of unknown origin coming from the depths of this pit. There's a box behind me I'm reading off of. Ooh.
Have a look here.
Also just found a note that didn't... Oh, there it is. So it didn't go anywhere. Note from Ironguard and Vintara. As per our verbal agreement, you are allowed entry into the old walls at Lethian's Crossing with the explicit instructions to find a path to the Bronze Brotherhood campsite on the other end. Any items acquired inside the old walls will be yours to keep in exchange for help in this matter. What did we just find? A garnet? Okay. But swimming dice just result of careless soldiers. Interesting rune. Take a charcoal rubbing. Pressing charcoal to parchment, you capture a blurry but proportionate image of the ancient relief. With enough collected imprints, it may be possible to reconstruct the original shape of the rune. As you work, Lantry is near. See how that pattern looks broken along two edges? I think there's more to the engraving than what's here. Then we'll look for more. Agreed. If we collect enough sketches and imprints, we can no doubt reconstruct the original image in its entirety. Well, let us continue through here.
I'm seeing a lot in this room I'd like to sketch. But we should keep moving.
I don't have access to big map, do I? Not really. Oh, I can hire recruits? Remotely? Merchant with motley collection of items for sale. Also create camping supplies periodically. Skill trainer, skill trainer, skill trainer. Battlefield scavenger with many unique items. Skill trainer. A smith. Old beast woman who regularly provides food. And a fate binder. Maintenance costs of none, but I assume there is a cost when I start hiring people. The chamber immediately reminds you of Ascension Hall. An intricate rune running along the floor can only mean one thing. You stand at the feet of a great spire. Each step you take echoes across a great distance. As you gaze upward, the sage-colored walls quickly give way to unending blackness. The rune in the center of the floor is inactive, and the silence of the hall offers no clues as to its use or function. You feel a slight tug in your chest, a faint echo of the energy that enveloped you at Vendrian's Well. Hold a moment. Lanchi bellows the comment louder than needed, smiling as he hears his voice echo through the massive chamber. If my sense of direction is at all reasonable, we are standing below the spire in this region. What do you know of them? About as much as you, I'm afraid. Until our time at Vendrian's Well, I didn't realize there were ways to access the upper reaches. Speaking of which, I'm certain there's a way to access the top of this spire as well. Let's keep our eyes out for sigils or glyphs nearby. What do you recommend? I'd start with the grooves and stones on the floor over there. It was like the spire at Vendrian's Well. Whomever built this created a mystical conduit to the top. And I'd think it very, very unlikely that the pattern is purely decorative. Then let's press on.
Okay. Any bets on which
Pressing charcoal to parchment, capture a blurry but proportionate image of the ancient relief. Though the drawn rune remains incomplete, it seems likely that the completed design is symmetrical in nature. Should the need arise, you could reasonably guess its original shape.
Jill unleashes more scourges?
Incomplete charcoal rubbing. Oh. The toothy looking hourglass. Okay. Mirror set it. Stop standing on it. Is there more? There might be more, but I feel like that's it. It did say it was incomplete. But it also say it was symmetrical and could be guessed at. Shows a great circle going around it too. There we go. We've activated a second spire. We've ascended. I feel like we can teleport between spires? But maybe we can't? No, we definitely can. The arcane light courses skyward, traveling off toward the horizon in the direction of Indrian's Well. You feel the ground ripped out from beneath you yet again as you drift back into the warmth of the energy surrounding you. Your awareness stretches beyond the limits of the spire, pulling in many directions at once. The light you saw arcing through the sky reminds you of the tether you feel to the top of Indrian's Well. This too is a point of connection, and you are an inextricable part of it, bound as surely as the spires are to each other. The Sunset Spire in Lethian's Crossing feels burdened by its age, as if a central linchpin somewhere in its core has weathered the centuries of oppressive weight and longs to topple. The surge of energy that courses through you, forming a link with Indrian's Well, strengthens the very stones beneath your feet. The structural weakness you detected vanishes, replaced by confidence that you could keep this tower standing for millennia. And tell me where you're writing from. Lantry speaks loud as pensive missive. And how to reach you, and I will send you an iron ring for your troubles. He signs his name with a flourish, and then tosses the parchment into the wind. And in the blink of an eye, a heavy current slipped the slip of parchment eastward. I had this idea of a message in a bottle without the bottle. Maybe it'll work? If I threw a dagger from up here, I'll wager it could split a man in the ground in half. Damn, but I want to try. From here, even the old walls seem paltry. This sovereign view was not intended for the likes of us. The spire feels like a relay between you and Indrian's Well, bridging some transference of energy on an enormous scale. You are the first link of a chain that stretches the length of the realm. As you struggle to understand this sensation, you grow aware of the whispers all around you. Listen closer. The whispers themselves seem to travel down the tether between you and your spires, conducting heat that feels at times unbearable. They speak of your actions, your choices, everything that led you to this place. Your name is known, your banner recognized, your deeds reported across the tiers and the Northern Empire alike. For an instant, you can see the accumulated hope and fear these whispers represent. It appears like dewdrops settling on a leaf, then trickling into a shared basin. This image is fed to you through your connection, a base metaphor that only hints at the true scope. There is power in these spires, though its source is unfamiliar. Were you to harness it, you suspect that nothing could stand beyond your reach. Unlocking the spire seems to have opened some deeper connection. I don't know what you've done, but standing near you warms my rusted plates. It makes me feel lighter somehow. Curious, I'm noting something I also observed at the spire in Indrian's Well. There's a mystic hum, and it has little beats when you walk, tiny fluctuations when you talk. Unless my senses are deceiving me, you and the spires are mystically attuned to each other. Most fascinating indeed. You look taller, somehow, like you could command a dozen gangs without any challengers to knife you in the back. Yay, the Sunset Spire. This is where we can get upgrades. Like the library. Pressing any spire grants bonus to lore and magic. Or the forge. I'm gonna do the forge here. Are you sure you want to build this upgrade in this spire? This action cannot be cancelled. Yes, I do. Oh, I didn't know it was going to, like, instantly be completed. But, like, take time. You've acquired a second spire. All spires are linked, allowing you to travel instantly between them. This will reduce your travel time through the tiers. You can upgrade spires you discover, building new structures at the top of them. Each upgrade will provide you with different benefits. Click on the spire icon to select an upgrade for your new spire. Upgrades take time and money to build and money to maintain. If you no longer have the money to maintain an upgrade, It will be suspended and you no longer receive its benefits until you are able to pay its maintenance cost. There are 5 resources you can find in Kairos' tiers that can be used to power upgrades to your spire. They are scrolls, iron ingots, bronze ingots, alchemy supplies, and hide. Each upgrade uses different resources. Greetings, Fatebinder. How may I help you? I found this hilt in the old walls. What can you tell me about it? That looks like the hilt of Sentinel, one of the finest swords the Forgebound has ever made. With this, I could recreate it if you want. Is there anything else? Tell me about the forge. If you want to upgrade your weapons and armor, you can use any of the anvils. It should be simple enough if you got the materials. I want you to forge something for me. Certainly, Fatebinder. Alchemist's glove artifact. I'd cost iron ring and 10 hide. And 4 recruits. The commander's plate. Same-ish. Iron ring and 10 bronze and 5 recruits. Nightwalker's boots, 6 recruits. The headhunter. Simplicity. Ebb.
Second Spire has awoken to your presence. This is fascinating, and I admit enviable. If it turns out your connection to the Spires invites death and woe, my jealousy might wane a bit. I've been mulling over that structure we found atop Vendrian's well. Would you be opposed to me studying the sculpture in closer detail? I'd perhaps work a spell or 2 near the structure. Simple cantrips of Gravelight by which to read and inspect, but I will not poke or shove the thing in any way physical or mystical.
Gravelight is the magical term for the light of the moon, Terratus Grave, specifically when harnessed and manipulated for nefarious purposes. While the moon's rays are normally incapable of causing so much as a mild sunburn, the Tidecasters have long studied magic that can concentrate these rays into bolts and beams of searing doom. Tidecasters have spent centuries trying to mimic and control the moon's tidal pull on the oceans, and will often mention that diverting moonlight is the easy stuff compared to pulling and pushing the tides. But modern times have forced the School of Tides to concentrate on the more martial applications of this magic. You don't need to ask my permission. Major loyalty, lose fear. You may observe and take notes only. No magic, no meddling. Gain average fear, gain minor loyalty. If you think it wise, of course. Major loyalty. You don't need to ask my permission, Ep.
Thank you. Next time we have a good moonlit night, I best settle in and see what sort of magic perturbations I can sense from the sculpture. What is it you need? Ask away.
Let's go forging ourselves. Select a weapon or armor from your inventory to upgrade. Can't upgrade this. Not that. We can upgrade this to superior quality, but we need a forge crew. Fair enough. We can upgrade some things ourselves. Upgrade this bronze hammer to masterwork, but we need 6 recruits to do it. And a lot of other stuff that I'm ignoring. Oh, we can upgrade his armor while he's in it. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so this just has Mysterious Device. That's its upgrade. This now has Forge, and we can hire recruits. Skill Trainer, Master Trainer, Merchant, a Smith who provides bronze ingots, a Smith who provides iron ingots, and a Merchant who specializes in unique. Let's hire the bronze. And actually, on subject of spires, my dear Claire, the court is all abuzz with the news of the Civil War. Representatives from the Cars and the Disfavored are having little shouting matches in front of Tunon, The petitioners to the court seem swept up in talks of who will crush whom, and if and when Tunon will bring down the gavel and stop the fighting. What has me more intrigued is the other story at Avendrian's Well. Tunon sends you on what I thought was going to be a one-way trip to the well, and not only do you live, you somehow claimed the mountain spire. And you broke Kairos' edict, too. Such things make a little civil war seem so trivial in comparison. At least to those who can separate the message from the noise. Tell me, what was it like to break the edict? And how was it you took control of the spire? Should we downplay the events? It is usually quite difficult to give me too much credit, but it sure sounds like you're implying my claim on the spire was premeditated or even intentional. My only goal in Vincennes Well was to stay alive, to not let the Archon's indecision cause the Edict of Execution to come to pass. Ascension Hall needed to be taken, and I made it happen, both because it was my duty and because I generally prefer to live. My claim in the spire coincided with the breaking of said edict. Perhaps breaking the edict caused a mystic surge that triggered the spire. Or perhaps Kairos knew this would happen, and such knowledge tempered the wording of the edict. I can offer you only these speculations. Tunon, gain minor wrath. Respond with questions of your own. Did you know what the wording of the edict would entail? Did you advocate that I be sent on what was likely a one-way journey? Your questions seem to imply that my actions at Vincennes Well were orchestrated when they were, in fact, the product of me responding to a chaotic situation. Nothing more. Dealing with two petulant, disagreeable Archons occupied what precious time I might have spent undermining Kairos. How about you tell me what you know first? You were the one who taught me the value of never being tricked into self-incrimination. And how could I possibly argue with that sort of wisdom? Minor favor? Or explain it the best. I'm not reading all that. I'm just gonna gain the minor favor with Tunon. The matter archival. Oh, this is still in transit. Okay. Ooh, Ebb gives me Tartus Embrace. So, whenever she's also in the party, Ebb and the party are lifted into the sky. Ebb then radiates moonlight, healing allies and harming enemies. Ooh. That's good. Let's talk to Kills in Shadow. The beast woman squats on her haunches, back bowed and face tilted forward as she meticulously grooms between the long, calloused fingers of one paw. A mauve tongue laves blood from her glistening claws. She glances up, a jerky, startled movement at your approach. But there's no fear in her, only reaction, instinct, only a readiness to strike.
Fatebinder wants Beast Woman?
Yes, carnally. No, the reek of an unwashed, feral animal, bloodied and battle-worn, swathes you like a wet blanket, and you breathe through your mouth to keep from retching. We should strategize how best to deal with our enemies, and our allies.
Best way is with bloodshed, yep.
She grins wide, tongue lolling across her gleaming, blade-sharp teeth.
Fatebinder has many allies. More enemies. Which do Fatebinder and Kills in Shadow hunt today?
Tell me more about the Beastmen tribes.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Do you know anything about the magical guilds?
Kills in Shadow does not understand human behavior towards mystics. Tribes should value, protect mystics, not treat like outcasts, caitiffs forced into separate packs. Humans fear and snivel, snap at own mystics, until mystics become strong alphas like archons. Then humans grovel and beg favor. Follow archons in droves.
It's true.
Maybe Fatebinder understands ways of human mystics better. Maybe not. Ask and discover.
What do you know of the What do you know of the Forgebound?
Forgebound are builders, not fighters. Are like slaves to own human pack. Work without rest. Are weak and submissive, but can mold hard gray ore like pressing paw prints into mud.
Why would you call them weak? Beast Woman shrugs her meaty, scarred claws. What do you mean they're like slaves?
Forge-bound, make better than iron, killing claws and hard pelts all day for kith of other pack. Why give to others if have choice?
What gray ore?
Rock, ore, heart and skin of Torotus. Smells like iron, but is different. Forge-bound mold gray ore to give tribes teeth and claws. Carve better, slice deeper than ones of iron and bronze.
Let's speak of something else.
Lead conversation.
What about the
Beast woman
sages?
will follow. Strange pack. Dispersed. Sage humans know each other, but prefer lone wolf travel. Are clever, harder to hunt. Smell of coal ink and rotted trees. Leave beast women alone most times, so kills in shadow likes.
What do you know of the Earthshakers?
Earthshakers draw power from Earthblood like stone stalker mystics, like beast women. Archaeans pack, yep, are strong, are disfavored. But our tearsmen smell more of stone lands, more of Earthblood than disfavored, yep.
Do you share arcane teachings? No, not yet. Earthblood, do we even want to ask?
Beneath dry soil, wet Earthblood beats, thrums. Fatebinder's ears cannot hear surging blood song.
No, not really.
I'm certain this Earthblood is more an arcane or abstract notion, not actual blood in the soil. Our senses are attuned to something we're not seeing.
Have you had past dealings with the Earthshakers?
If by dealings, Fatebinder means hunts and killings, then yep. Earthshakers crushed Shard-Nip tribe in South Stonelands. So killers in shadow slaughtered pack of Earthshakers in north near Howling Rock.
That's all I need to know.
Lead conversation. Beast woman will follow.
Let me get her loyalty up.
Lead conversation.
Want to talk about Kairos? What do you know of disfavored and Graven Ash?
Disfavored hunting slave beast women. Only predators to rival tribes. Dislike. Admire. Envy skill. Want to stalk. Then want to kill slowly. Make scream. But disfavored do not yowl easily. Have taken killing teeth and throat, carving claws and gut, and survived. Alpha laves pain from pack, makes pack tougher, deadly threat.
You are correct to assume we are the more elite, but do not expend yourself trying to destroy us. We are the arm of the Northern Empire, and you would only bring annihilation upon your race.
What about the Tears who seek to defy Kairos?
Humans of beast women lands, humans called tearsmen, are many roiling maggots that infest, ruin good meat. Clever hunter would crouch behind humans like stone cover during fight with Kairos' tribe. Let tearsmen die, so Fatebinder and beast women can survive. Win! Many humans live in beast women lands. Kills in shadow knows tearsmen pack well.
What do you know of the Bronze Brotherhood?
Lying
It's
kids
for the hydrate?
are not blood brothers. Use bronze killing claws. Smell of tanned hide, blood, piss, and fire water. Fight like black-striped jackals. Laughing, nimble, reckless. Fight for trinkets, not survival.
What about the Unbroken?
Strongest humans in beast women lands. Earth blood must pump hot fast through veins. Are tenacious, undefeated. Stand tough as mountains, even against disfavored.
Do not get taken in by the unbroken reputation. The people of Stalwart are fond of rewriting history in favor of a version that fits their sensibilities. Imagine that many people rallying around an idea, a story.
What do you know of the Vendrian Guard?
No pack was defeated by Kairos' tribe. Was small, easily hunted first time. Struggled, fought back to paws and knees. but could not have won second time. Was like hare
Night,
challenging
Alpha.
wolf.
Oh, cute way of putting it. Though I think Kairos technically has two tribes that like to knock us around time and time again.
Lead conversation. What now does fate find a wish to yip about?
Had any good hunts lately?
Good, yep. And many more than 5.
Many more than 5. Can only count to 5 because I have 5 fingers.
Waded up deep, murky stream near disfavored camp. Paw pawed in mud of bank, but did not leave tracks. Crept low and quiet to tent flap, scenting with tongue. Caught ironclads and dragged, squirming like hurt rabbits, into cold black depths of river. Disfavored cannot swim like beast woman, only can sink.
I would like to know more about you. She puffs her hairy, naked teats out.
Am best hunter.
She boasts, scratching one idly.
Am last of tribe. Tribe who killed king vipers, Alarion, and thorn stags extinct. Am alpha. Brood mother. Can smell earthblood like mystic. What else does Alpha to Kills and Shadow long to know?
How did you end up with the Stone Stalkers?
Am not Stone Stalker. Lost tribe. Left Haven lands. Migrated east. Was alone long time. Hunted many humans. Killed. Raged. Like undying fire. Then found pack of stone whelps. Caitiffs, outcasts of tribe, who needed Alpha.
Could your tribe have been that different? I've run afoul of many a beastman in my day, and I find nothing that distinguishes their savage numbers.
Stay and see. We'll think Kills and Shadow memorable when insides are being ripped, slow dripping from ironclad shell.
If you're not a Stone Stalker, why were you leading a pack of beastmen from that tribe?
Is true. Am Shadow Hunter from Havenlands, but am last of tribe. After tribe was slain, Kills and Shadow loped to Stone Lands, stalking on long hunt for disfavored, but soon became needed by weak whelps, by Stone Stalkers who had been slaves and had not learned how best to fight.
Hills and Shadow is a interesting name.
Best hunter is clever hunter. Stalk slow and soft. Bad, silent. Strikes fast. Kills without hesitation.
Tell me more about your former tribe. No? Okay. You seem like a born killer.
Did not kill out of mother's womb. All whelps suckle first, learn later. Beast woman's first blood was in second season after birth.
Okay.
Lead conversation. Beast woman will follow.
Let's play a game. Immediately, she perks up, back straining, red eyes rove you with interest.
Like playing with prey or with pack. We play sometimes with stone whelps. Rut, mate, slaughter.
Her dark maws part in a massive, fangy grin.
I'm always down for a game. Unless it involves throwing and catching. In which case,
Is easy. Packmate chooses one of each. Rut, mate, slaughter. If prey is chosen, pack joins ensuing hunt. If packmate is chosen and both agree to game, then pack gets to watch.
Rut, mate, slaughter. Fuck, marry, kill.
Rut, mate, slaughter, eh? Oh, does it have to be 3 different people? I rutted with my old gang boss, Fine Ass. Mated him for a time, and then I killed him. Of all my days running with the chorus, I think I enjoyed Ass Gang the most.
oh, I get it. Okay. I'd rut Barrack, since Kairos' forces need a little pillage and rape in return. I'd mate with Verse, mostly to take half of whatever land she's going to someday conquer. Obviously, I'd kill Lantry. Who wouldn't?
Obviously, I'd kill Lantry. Damn, Eb.
What? I'm old enough to be everyone's father. This is disgusting.
Well, I said they'd kill you. Barry looks at you and simply shakes his head in horror and disbelief.
How could Beast Woman choose any other? Would rut Ebb good and hot fast? Would mate Alpha and would slaughter, carve back to pieces, slowly, savoring while slicing flesh from neck. Yep.
I was hoping that would push me into tier 1 loyalty with her, but not quite. What's your opinion on something?
Fatebinder's smell weakens, dims as strength dies. It's good to ask Beast Woman for advice.
Bulwark.
Even strong Alpha
Second in
needs
command of
cunning
Beast
of
Driver.
Bulwark at side.
What do you think of others in our pack? Insufficient rep. How would you assess our progress?
On stealing territory of Beast Women lands humans call realms of Tearsmen. No Fatebinder claimed territory of Vendrian's well for self. Is good for pack. Should Kills in Shadow care outside of that? Fatebinder claimed Horizon Rock called Mountain Spire at Vendrian's well. Should claim more, take power as own, become stronger and stronger. Kairos rules own tribe and crushes threats to territory with attacks called edicts. Fatebinder should learn same mystic strength. Even archons cannot win against edict. Yep. Our best attack we'll use to kill, survive.
How would you have us proceed?
Kill everyone. Become strongest. Is easiest, best path. Fear is best weapon for alphas. Give power over others. Kairos understands. To be prima must shed much blood. Must teach pack to obey at any cost.
You say it's easiest path, so why should I choose that one, Kills in Shadow? Shouldn't I choose a harder path to prove how much stronger I am?
Lead conversation. Beast Woman will follow.
Fatebinder wants you to bathe.
I'm bathing right now.
Average loyalty, hey, tier 1.
Don't simply drag your fetid tongue over another matted patch of fur. Stand under a waterfall or kneel in a stream. The crying statue in Edgering Ruins comes to mind.
Is washing with waterfall how Packmate became trapped in iron? Did not think to shed iron shell first? Should let Beast Woman pry shell from Ironclad. Then Kills in Shadow can play with disfavored inside. Yep.
I'd like to spar with you.
Beast Woman gets to play fight with Alpha?
Yes.
Come!
I'm not gonna stab her in the gut. I will headbutt her. Hands gripping your hairy shoulder to steady yourself, you ram your forehead. Well, actually, let's see. Let me go back up. Before you can step even a single foot forward, the Beast Woman surges for you without warning, without waiting, tackling you hard about the waist. The force of her weight slams into you, her muscled shoulder ramming into your gut, and you both tumble for the ground in a tangle of limbs and hair and claws. Hands gripping her hairy shoulder to steady yourself, you ram your forehead as hard as you can to her swarthy snout. Bone crunches audibly and Kills in Shadow howls, rearing back as blood spates down the front of her chin and throat. She gnashes her red-tinged fangs, pained and furious, and looking for a moment as if she may very well tear your throat out. But then she licks the blood-coating lips and grins at you dangerously. Major loyalty, yay, tier 2. Beast Woman likes fight with Alpha. She purrs and carefully, sensually crawls back from you. I'd like to know more about you now.
Am blessed of tribe.
I'd like to know more about your tribe. Insufficient rep still. Yeah.
Lead conversation. A brazen, callow, are not as savage fast keen as Beast Woman.
Okay, I can ask her
Lead
about the rest
conversation.
of the people.
Beast. am last of tribe. Did not kill out of mother's womb. Best hunter is am not still.
Could your...
Stake and see. Lead conversation. Beast woman will follow. Best way is with bloodshed. Yep. Nope.
I can't ask about the Beastmen still.
What?
Okay, bye-bye. And I forgot that Discord still doesn't fucking work right. Sorry for the Discord pings. Ooh, 10 bronze ingots. Ten iron ingots. Ooh, and a hidden stash. Hidden stash in my own area. Ardent bronze sword of superior quality. How does it compare to the Tenderizer? Less DPS. More accurate. Faster recovery. A lot faster. But less DPS. What about you? How does it compare to your weapons? More DPS, fast recovery, but less armor penetration than the Oathbound dagger. More DPS and a lot more recovery, but less armor penetration, less range than the Seeker. I can make it my second in hand. And my, two-weaponed stance. Not that I ever swap weapons, but, And I believe that is a good place to call it. Because, it'd be late. And I need to, send y'all off as normal. Today, let's go bully a goblin. Let's go bully Goblin Fia. So make sure to grab your raid message if you're subbed or not. It's in that respective order. And yeah, let's go bully a Gabo. Remind her how much of a bottom she really is. She's currently playing a game called Chambers. And it looks like she's using a revolver, so it seems fun. But yeah, thank you again, as always, for being here, for giving me your time and support. I always appreciate it. Now, I'll be back Tuesday, innit? And playing something. What'll I be playing? I don't know, but we're playing something Tuesday. And hey, Molly, yeah, you're right on time for us to leave. You should pop in here 3 hours ago on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But yeah, I hope to see you again Tuesday. Now take care of yourselves, and goodbye.